What's going on? Hope everybody's doing as good as possible with whatever you got going on in your life. I'm making a quick video on 10 Surron tips. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to call it, but it's going to be something like 10 Surron tips, something like that. But so this is going to be like once you already got your bike unpackaged and like all put together and you know everything's all solid and ready to go. A lot of these are just like self-explanatory, or not necessarily self-explanatory, but like basically common sense. And yeah, like people are already gonna know them. But some people might not, so I figured I'd make a little video on it. Some of them I thought were pretty good tips, and other stuff is just like, I wanted to make a video and I don't have much to do where I live besides just ride around and do wheelies. And that gets kind of boring, so I figured I'd talk while I do it. But alright, so I'm just gonna get straight into this. So tip number one, I'd say the most obvious one that everybody knows about, or should know about at least if you're looking into Surrons, is cut the green wire. I personally can't think of any reason why you wouldn't want to cut the green wire. It's like, why would you want less power? Why would you want like less bike? I can't think of any reason why you wouldn't want to do it. Unless you're buying it for like a kid or something, and you want to make sure it's all safe, or you just really aren't comfortable riding yet, then yeah, I understand like leaving it uncut for a minute. But in the end, cut that green wire. So yeah, that's pretty easy. Swerve that pothole. I'm gonna start out with the simple ones and then move into like some better ones, I think. Oh, this is a 6 spot right here. What? This is actually pretty dope. But so tip number 2 is gonna be, oh no. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I swerved that. Oh my gosh. Wait, is that just a stick or is that a nail? Okay, that's just a stick. I thought that was a nail sticking up. Either way, I'm not gonna mess around here. I'm gonna pop my tire. I was gonna jump off that. Oh, that's the spot I could jump off right there. Boom. Ah! Oh, that was sick. Okay, finally, tip number 2. Kind of going along with the first tip is remove the brake sensors. I guess this one's kind of more of like a personal preference thing. I can see why some people wouldn't want to remove the brake sensors, but if you are comfortable with your throttle control and braking and all that stuff, and oh, I just remembered glass. But if you're just comfortable on your bike like that, I would recommend removing the brake sensors, especially if you're going to be wheeling your bike. Then definitely want to remove the brake sensors. What the brake sensors are, it's just for like when you're hitting the throttle, if you hit the brake, it cuts the power to the throttle. So like you can't give it gas and hit the brake at the same time. All right, let me pull over really quick and check my notes. I'm already lost even on tip number 3. Oh, never mind. I did go to tip number 3. I skipped tip number 1. Tip number 1, which I guess is skipping to tip number 3. But this is like the most obvious, and I'd say like arguably the most important one. And hey, it's the perfect spot to explain it, is always wash your bike after every ride, especially if you're out in the winter like this where there's going to be a lot of salt and stuff on the roads. I don't know how to get through here. I don't want to go out in the street. I'm going to try to cut through this parking lot. I think I'll be able to. But yeah, always wash your bike after every ride. I know that's pretty like obvious, but it seems like something that a lot of people neglect for some reason. And it just really helps keep your bike clean in the long run, and just like helps maintain your bike too. Like it's kind of weird. A lot of things like, that was dope. Yeah, I don't know. Your bike can have weird little issues, like little squeaky things or little things rubbing and stuff that can be fixed literally just by washing your bike. Like washing your bike is a really underrated thing that I'd say, like I said, arguably most important thing. So definitely always wash your bike after every ride. I need to cross this road. I gotta check my notes again now because that got me a little thrown off. I missed that tip number 1. I don't know how I forgot that. All right, now I'm gonna switch it up a little bit on these ones, and this is gonna be kind of like setting your bike up for your specific body size and weight and all that. So tip number 4, bar position. Like I said, I know a lot of these should be really like basic stuff to a lot of people, but I see so many people out here rocking just goonie bar positions like way too far forward or way too far back. So yeah, You gotta set your bar position up to how you like it and your body size and all that. It's got little lines on the stock bar. Oh no, good thing I saw that. Yeah, it's got little lines on the stock bars so you can set it up for, you can make sure they're even side to side, and for like kind of like what degree you want of, I don't know how to even word that, but yeah, you guys know what I'm saying, how you want your bars positioned farther forward, farther back. And also on that, tip number 5 with the bars is the length. So with the position is the bar length. These bars could be cut down, like you can see. That was a little sketchy right there. But yeah, they got a lot of extra length so for you to slide the levers in and the controls and all that and the grips, and cut some length off the ends of them if they're too long for you. Just go to some hardware store, get a little pipe cutter for like some plumbing stuff, and yeah, spin that thing around for like 30 minutes and cut it off. No, I lost my list. Sorry if I'm sounding dumb while I'm trying to explain this stuff. I'm like super not prepared for this, to be honest. All right, tip number 5 to go along with the controls is the lever position. So you don't want to be like reaching way too far for it, and you don't want to be reaching up for it either. Just like a nice comfy position. Everybody's got their own little personal preference, but yeah, you want to make sure that yours is comfy enough for you. If you're doing more wheelies, I notice people like to rock it higher up more. I kind of just leave mine in the stock position and just deal with it, because I like to do a lot of other type of riding too. But yeah, you gotta get your lever position, your bars, overall just controls up front set up so you can ride this bike comfy. All right, and then tip number 6, still sticking along with the setup theme, is the peg position. The Surron has 3 different little peg slots for you. You got one right there. The first one is what I'm rocking, the second one and the third one. Me personally, I'd be rocking all the way up front unless you're over like 6 foot, because other than that, it's just way too far back and feels goony. But yeah, that one's pretty simple. Then tip number 7. This is like the hardest one, I'd say, out of all of them. So I'd recommend like not really even messing with this unless you know what you're doing. But the suspension, tuning your suspension, that's like, I don't know, it's a really big thing that if you can figure it out, I definitely recommend doing it. At least trying to watch some videos and seeing how you feel about it. I personally, like, I tried to mess with mine a little bit, but I didn't want to mess with it too much because I've never had like, I don't know, any experience tuning suspension, so I don't want to try to mess with it and then wind up just making it worse. So that's why I'd recommend just not touching it at all if you don't know what you're doing. But if you can figure that out, that's something that can definitely help you get your bike more dialed in for you specifically. But yeah, that's one that deserves a whole video on it that I'm not capable of doing, so I recommend watching some other people's videos. All right, now we got tip number 8. Oh, my GoPro's been rattling. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. Let me see if I can try to fix that at all. Okay, so tip number 8. This is like a weird little specific tip that I've thought of on my own that I haven't seen other people talk about, but is the little pad that they send you to stick on the bottom of the battery. Oh, can I bend this? Nope. I can't really bend corners yet. But they send you this little, it's like a sticker, padded sticker that you put underneath your battery. I'll like cut to a clip of me messing with it right now. But personally, I really recommend to not stick that down. I feel like that's a really good tip. It makes it a lot easier for when you're trying to clean your bike. You can just pull the little thing up and wash all underneath there instead of having to do with stuff getting stuck like in the sides of the residue of the sticker. And also, if you ever want to like take apart your bike and have to deal with those bolts underneath the sticker, you'd have to peel that up and deal with that anyways in the long run. So I think personally, just leaving it unstuck and just setting it down and setting your battery on top of it every time seems to work fine for me, and I think that's a way better bet. This is bullshit. So that's tip number 8, little battery pad thing. And then tip number 9 kind of goes along with that, is on the front and the back of the battery. I'll try to cut to a clip of this too right now, because obviously I can't show that right now. But the front and the back of the battery rubs really bad for some reason. Like, it's, I don't know if it's exactly like on the bolts or the plastic or what, but it'll leave little scratch marks in your battery that I didn't know about until it was too late. But so I'd recommend, like I said, I'll cut to a clip to show exactly where, but put little 3M, I know 3M makes this little like padded tape stuff, and yeah, put some like type of padded tape like that in the front and backs of your battery so it doesn't get all scratched up like that. It'll make your battery harder to slide in, so like make sure you don't put too much on it. You gotta put like barely in it at all, honestly. It's almost like just like a millimeter thickness. But If you don't, your battery will get scratched up, like I said, so that kind of sucks. But to bring it to tip number 10, I kind of got stumped. Like, there were obviously some tips I could have thought of to just like fill in the gap, but I couldn't think of any ones that were like stand out enough to be good enough, and I figured I would just make it an open-ended one and ask you guys what you guys think for tip number 10. Take the easy way out. So yeah, I want to know, I know there's a lot more Surron tips out there. I haven't had my Surron for that long. That was just kind of what I have thought of in the time that I have had it. So if anybody's had theirs for longer, or just has seen videos, or knows just any better tips, I want to hear about them. Please leave them in the comments, because I want to learn more stuff, and I want to be able to help people out so they don't have to scratch their battery or deal with stuff like that when they get their Surron, and they can save themselves before it's too late. Oh, that was sketchy. But yeah, so that's basically it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I figured it'd be like fun little, hopefully interesting video to go talk while I ride around and do wheelies. But that's basically it. Stay tuned for some more videos, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, like I said. Sorry if I didn't like word this the best, or kind of like lost my train of thought a couple of times. I don't know. Like I said, I should have planned this video out a little bit better, and also I've never really made these types of videos, so I'll get better at it though. Either way though, like I said, hopefully you guys found this enjoyable. Peace out everybody, and hope you're doing good in life. Yee.